Hey, good morning, everybody. I am Jeff Blankenburg, and as usual, we are here to build some software. Um, I've been thinking a lot about what's going on with this casino Alexa skill thing, and I know I've been running into some limitations, but I haven't necessarily done a good job of addressing those. And I've been thinking about this skill this morning, and I think that like the approach that I used for building the chatbot was fine because I was really trying to make it one turn and done kind of scenarios. But I think especially for Alexa, where I have this really rich multi-turn kind of experience, I would much rather do it in a way that gives the full casino experience. An example of this is the video poker that we've built. So for the chatbot, it's really cool. You just type exclamation point poker, and you're off and running. But for the voice experience, what I really want to have happen is for you to play poker, and it's like, all right, cool. Here's your 5 cards. What do you want to do? And you can hold a couple of them like you would in video poker. And I'm hoping you'll be able to do things like hold 1, 3, and 5, or hold 2 and 4, or whatever. And then once you've done that, then I deal more cards from the deck. You end up with a new set of cards. And I feel like the way that my data structure is today, it's not terribly easy to do that. And so one of the first things that I wanted to do today, I'm having trouble with my Stream Deck, so I'm going to have to, I have this other little portable keyboard that I use to communicate with this computer. We're just going to flip right over to this and get right into it. Because I want to make this stuff work. And so the first realization that I've really come to is that I think each game type needs to have its own data table. Because there's a lot of unique data that I'm storing. And if we look at my data structure right now, I have a game table, but I only use this for when we were creating group roulette games or individual craps games. And then I started playing with some blackjack stuff, but that doesn't even exist yet. So I feel like I need to be able to figure out how to make those things work. It also occurs to me that I probably have not got any bots started. Or maybe I do. Let's get these back up and running. I need to write a script that will just open all 3 of those and get them running for me. But good morning to any of you that are out there. I am definitely watching the chat, so if you have any questions or anything as I go, please let me know. I also bought some cranberry pineapple juice, which I figured I'd give a try. I got this cool, check out this cool cup I got. It's an AWS Federal Training Cup with an American flag on it. I did a couple of talks for some internal, intern type folks, as well as some military folks that are basically stationed at Amazon. I guess that's the way it kind of works. But they come and they work and they learn with us for a period of time, and then they go back to whatever their role or their deployment was. And so I got to talk to a bunch of them. Gold Zulu is at the rock bottom. That's not good. Is it good? Is it good? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think we can live with that. So anyway, related to my tables, I think what I really need to do is commit to building out a table per game. And I thought maybe we could focus on poker first, since that seems like an easy one. And what will we need in this poker thing? Well, we'll need a record ID, right? We'll need to customize this. So this will be record ID, and this will be the formula. Okay, and then we don't care about what the game type is, but what we're going to have to do, and this is where the persistence comes into play pretty heavily, is we need to be able to save the cards that the user has. And so I feel like I could probably do this. I need a user ID, so we'll do user ID, and this will be a link to another record in my user table. We're not going to link to multiple records. We're just going to link to one user. I don't actually know what that choice does for me. For those of you that have played with Airtable a little bit, I would think that this means that I will be returned a string instead of an array, because an array would mean multiple values. But in fact, it's an array all the time, and so I don't really know. I don't really know, except for maybe here in the UI. I don't know why I make that choice. So one of the other things we'll need is wager. This is how much the user is betting on this hand. This will be a number that's not a decimal. And the default, we don't even need a default value, so we'll save that. And then I think what I want to do here is like opening hand. I don't need a select box. I need long text, single line text. I don't know that it really matters. Single line text. And then we'll have closing hand. That is also single line text. And then we could have outcome, something like that. How do I feel about that? I have a user ID, I have the amount they bet, I have their opening hand, I have their closing hand. Do I really need to know? I'm trying to think about the fact that the way this process is going to work. The power skill came back from CERT again, W. Giorgio. That's not probably what you were hoping for, I guess. Your Airtable is causing certification issues? Please tell me more. I'd like to know more about that. What's the problem? All right. What else do I want to know here? Do I need to like retain which values they kept? Like if they held 1 and 2, or they held 3 and 5. I mean, I guess I could retroactively get that data just comparing the opening and the closing hand. I'm looking quite pink. Am I? I mean, I definitely got some sun last week, but I hope I'm not too pink. I really did my best to stay out of the sun. I used a lot of sunblock, and I really limited the amount of time that I was actually in the sun, because it was hot there. It was low to mid 90s Fahrenheit, and yeah, it was hot. So the pink could just be that I'm fat too. That could also, like, I just look sweaty all the time. Maybe that's it. So if I'm going to do something like this, though, poker is still kind of a single-threaded process, right? So I'm only playing one at a time. I can't make multiple bets, at least not right now. Oh, so you're saving the ID of the row in your session attributes, but you're not getting to that section of code for anyone but yourself. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Have you identified what the bug is, or is this just what they told you? Because that seems like it's awfully specific feedback from certification. It seems more like they didn't get something to work, or they weren't able to make something happen. Is that logical? All right, I'm going to keep cranking, but I'd love to know more about this. So, is this the thing I want to do right now? Trill Surge, good question. If you want to split a pair of fives, would you need to keep the hand information at that time? Yes, if it was blackjack. For a video poker game, you wouldn't have any of that kind of splitting stuff. But absolutely for blackjack, that is something that I would definitely expect. So blackjack is something I've been holding off on because there are all those kind of weird scenarios. It's something that we're going to build. We just haven't built it yet. But that is something that has kept me actually from building the blackjack module of this because there is so much thought that goes into things like splitting and doubling down and a number of other rules, even just the hitting, right? I mean, a blackjack hand could actually have 5 or 6 turns. And so, how do you best manage those kinds of scenarios? Not something that I have built yet. I mean, we'll get there for sure, but not something that I have built just yet. Okay, so let's think about this. For poker, what does it look like right now? If we look at my code, I have handlers, I have start game intent, and when I come in and do poker, I'm just playing a game of poker. So now, this is another thing that I get hung up on. Alexa, clear my notifications.
Delete all your notifications, right?
Yes.
Okay, deleted your notifications.
So, I guess that would be okay. What I'll have to do is I have to rethink this. Because right now it's just play and then I just tell you whether you won or lost. But what I really want to do is call play and then it should respond to me with some set of outcomes, right? If I just dealt you a 5 card poker hand, here, let's just write this as some pseudocode in here. So if we do this right here, so if the user is starting a new poker hand, tell them what the poker hand is. If the user has already started a game, which cards do they want to hold? If the user has already indicated which cards they want to hold, tell them the outcome. So I think that doesn't feel right to me. That middle one feels odd. You say play poker, and I say, okay, how much do you want to bet? And I say 5, and you say, okay, here's your hand, and I tell you the 5 cards that you have. At that point, I will say, which ones do you want to hold? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. And I'll come up with a mechanism to allow them to a good mechanism to be able to say multiple things at once. That's fine. We can do that. And so then I take those numbers and I determine their outcome. So this middle case only exists. I'd be interested in your opinion on this, guys. I go into the Alexa skill and I say, play a game of poker for 5. And it goes, okay, here's your hand. Ace 10, 4, 2, 3. And then I say quit. Or stop. Or I lose my internet connection. Or something, whatever. Do I, when the user comes back and they say, I want to play poker, do I say, oh, you have a game going already? Or do I say, okay, starting a new game, right? Should you be able to come back like hours or days later and be in the middle of a video poker hand? Starting a new game. Okay, I'm with you on that, Trill Search. So if you come back later and you didn't ever finish the hand, did you lose the money that you wagered? I say bet 5 on video poker. I say here's your cards, and then you disappear. Did you lose those 5 coins? I feel like you probably do. Yeah, I'm trying to not make it difficult, Goldtool. I want to make this very, very easy and clear and obvious. But I think you probably lose the money. The problem is that I don't have a really good trigger for that. So if you just exit the skill, yeah, I mean, I technically authorize the bet now. What I'm trying to avoid is orphaned records in the database. If you say start a game of poker, I'm going to create a game of poker and I'm going to give you your cards and I'm going to have a record in the database that you bet 5 on this hand of poker. And then at some point I'm going to say which cards do you want to hold and you're going to tell me. But if you don't, then that record just sits there. How do I close it out? I guess I could do it like if I do it in the response log here, I could technically say, oh, they're exiting the skill, or I have a session ended request. That might be the place to do it. I have a session ended request. I could go through. Well, I'd probably have this in their session variable somewhere already. Why is my phone exploding today? I would probably know the active game that they have. Oh, that's going to be another thing. Oh, man. There's so much to think about with this. Why can't this just be easy? Yeah, I mean, I definitely could. I guess when they come back in, I could say, oh, they have a game. I could delete it or whatever. But I feel like there's also some risk. Like if you're going to start a game, you should accept that your money's in the machine and it's gone. I mean, it would never happen at a real video poker machine, right? If you're playing real video poker and you put money in, you're not going to walk away from the machine. But this is like fake virtual currency, and there's always the possibility that you could walk away. Man, I just don't know the right the right way to approach this. I think locked in. I think you have. I think that your session ends always. I think you always get a session ended request when your session ends, even if the app gets pulled out of focus or whatever. I think so. It's worth a try. There, we have the ability to check that right now. Let's validate that. That's a really good question, locked in. So I have. Let's see. If I go to the Alexa app, I know you guys can't see this, but I'm loading it up on my phone here. And oh, they changed the app. God, they're always messing. Okay, so Alexa's at the top here. Now I'm going to say open Chatsino and we'll see what we get. It should still work. Open Chatsino.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played poker 58% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Play poker.
What is your bet?
5.
You lost 5 coins in poker. Your new balance is 477 coins. Your cards were the Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades, 9 of Clubs, 6 of Clubs, and 3 of Diamonds. What do you want to play next?
Play poker.
How much are you betting?
5.
You won 5 coins in poker with a pair.
What I want to see here, so I just quit the Alexa app. I don't know if or when it will ever arrive, but I was really of the opinion that you would get a session ended request all the time. But it does not appear that I am. So locked in, I was of that opinion at first too. When I first built the poker thing, the first thing that I did was tell you what your cards were, but I found that the mental calisthenics that you need to do to really think about what your cards are, if it's a voice only experience, were pretty hard. And I found it was easier to tell you, like, oh, you have 3 of a kind, here are your cards, and then you can hear, like, oh, I had ace, 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 7, 4, because then you know what you're listening for, I guess. Should I be paying attention to suits? And of course, if you don't win, then you know you didn't have anything anyway. Yeah, I struggled with that decision, locked in, but that's kind of where I landed on that, was to go with the outcome first. Now I'm not getting a session ended request, which is disappointing to me, but I think I'll just have to do cleanup on the next time you come in. The other thing that I'm getting really torn on as we get into this is that the casino that you guys are using is the same database that I'm trying to make modifications to, and at some point I'm going to have to like break one or the other, which I don't really want to do. Okay, so we come back to our start game intent. So I don't have this case anymore. But what I do have is a new case that is if the user had an active game close it. But even this isn't even really true. if they say play poker. Hey, Mr. Smoofy, welcome, welcome. Um, if they say play poker, they're going to end up in this start game intent. And then I can check and see if they have an active game, and if they do, then I close it, and then I deal them a new poker hand, and we're on our way. But if they told me what cards they want to hold, if they tell me what card they want to hold, that's a totally different intent. So that logic doesn't even really live here. I think Chatsino is working, man, but we have so far to go to get this thing to a real like production state. So much work. And the fact that I only work on this 2 hours every other day is also somewhat frustrating. I think what's going to happen, because I really do want to get this thing moving, is I think I'm going to put more time into working on this when I'm not on stream. I generally like to do all my development on stream, but I think I want to make more progress. I want to keep this thing moving forward. I also have this entire other app that I really, really, really want to build. I've been wanting to build it for 10 years. But yeah, obviously I'm much slower. There's a lot of thought that goes in here that I can just focus on going when I'm off screen. So I do a lot more explaining when I'm here and answering questions and noticing like that W. Giorgio just won another 1,000 coins. There's a lot of distractions right now. So I think you guys will see that I'm going to start doing some work off camera, which isn't necessarily good or bad. Hydrate. All right, more crayon pineapple juice. This is pretty good. I think I could drink this. This entire cup's worth is only 5 calories too. But it's not terrible. It's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Yeah. Goldula, I'm with you on that. I think that we need to figure out how to do whispering. I think that will help. But having the casino happen in the chat is kind of fun. I wish there was a way to just auto-highlight non-Chatsino messages. But I do think that like balance checking and some of that other stuff, maybe you type balance in the main chat, but it just responds to you as a whisper. I don't know. There's lots of thoughts on that. Okay. So every time I approach one of these new things, I run into this big wall. Like, man, that's going to be huge. Okay. Well, we're only operating right now in the Chatsino code that was copied over and modified. Well, locked in. I think the plan. Let's look at this, because I don't even know what the costs are on these things. If I go to Twitch, let's go to Locked In's channel. No. So you have a channel, and in here I can come in and I can do a thing somewhere. Oh, you know what? I need to find somebody with. Let's go to C# Fritz. He has lots and lots of followers, and so I think in here I can subscribe. Oh, is he actually streaming right now? No. Okay, so if I come in here and look at his subscription options, I have a tier 1 subscription which costs $4.99 a month. And then he has these other tier 2 subscription, which is $9.99. And tier 3, which is $24.99. I don't think I need all that stuff. I what I'd like to do is to just have a subscription where you subscribe to my channel, and as a subscriber, the chatbot, just the chatbot side of things, obviously, the chatbot automatically gets added to your channel. So it's technically a way for you to pay me for using the chatbot on your channel without me having to worry about all the e-commerce nonsense, right? So that feels like a pretty valid option. And maybe there's a tier 1 subscription that's just like, hey, subscribe to my channel, and then there's another one that's like, I don't know, let's look. I feel like I could just stream about Twitch exclusively. Like, between setting up all the stuff in my scene and the equipment that I use and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes here, I feel like, I feel like there could be lots and lots of things we could do. So, subscription names. Well, that's great. Chatsino has its own handle. If you notice when it replies to you, it definitely has its own handle. I don't know if I can set the amount of the subscriptions. I think that in here I can change the subscription names, but I don't see the ability to like set the amount. I think that those are automatically. Oh, I see what you're saying, Gold Zulu. Like you only get certain games. I think it's an all or nothing. Um, I, I don't imagine that this is going to be that wildly popular. I mean, you guys are having a lot of fun with it, but I don't know that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe people would really like to have this on their channel. But $10 seems like it's too much. All right. Well, there's definitely some engineering that needs to go into this because I need to build an app that's basically just do it. I need to build an app that can manage that list. One of the tricks that I have with the chatbot is that when I fire up the node instance, I have to have the list of channels that it subscribes to available. And I also feel like it's possible that there's some Twitch limits to how many messages, how frequently I can do it. Yeah, lots to think about. Okay, I've made zero progress today. Zero progress because you guys have me. My wheels are spinning. Let's get back in here. Actually, let's open up. Let's do this the right way. This is a less easy way for you guys to see this, but let's add a task. Nope, let's not even do that. Let's open Todoist. Okay. So let's give this its own thing. Let's code. I think what I need to do is talk about. I have Chatsino here, and I have no tasks on here. So let's just talk about some of the things that we need to be able to do. Make a subscription on Twitch that auto makes the casino available on subscribers. Our old list from last week, I have that in the in here. I can open that up. Open recent. No, it's not gonna be open recent. Open. Got to go to the Chatsino bot to our to do here. So yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff in here. I guess we kind of did this, right? Yes and no, Godzulu. The problem is I only get that metadata when the chatter chats with me. Oh, I misunderstood how you were thinking. I think Goldzulu, I think you and I were talking about two different things. What I was suggesting is that you, Goldzulu, would subscribe to my channel. You'd pay the $5. And once you have that $5, once I have that $5 payment, the Chatsino is running on your channel. What you're saying, now it would have to work that way. What I just read here, what you're saying is, isn't it just checking the chatter's metadata? I wouldn't be able to, like, I wouldn't be able to run the casino on every Twitch channel everywhere. Yeah, this gets a little trickier, right? So I have to be able to run it on someone else's channel. So like it would be running on the Goldzulu channel. And then because it's running on Goldzulu's channel, anyone that's on Goldzulu's channel is able to use it. The same would go for Mr. Smoofy or W. Giorgio or Locked In or whoever. If you subscribe, it's available on your channel automatically. And yeah, but that means they have to have chatted with me. There is a Twitch API that would allow me to, well, if I can find my browser. There is a Twitch API that would allow me to see some of this stuff. And there's even webhooks, which would allow me to do like a API gateway in front of a Lambda kind of situation. But if I do, I don't care about any of that. I care about the new Twitch API, webhooks, no, guide. Let's look at guide. No. So basically, when the user subscribes to my channel, I think I have a way. Subscribe. There's a way where basically I can get a notification. I'm thinking that I can do this a much easier way, Goldzulu, and maybe we could play with that today. Is figuring out how to basically build a subscription to the Twitch API so that when someone subscribes to my channel, I get a notification that has their username. When I have that, obviously I would just store it in the database. And then I'm assuming there's one also for unsubscribe. And so then when the chatbot is running, occasionally I would guess it would need to restart. So maybe there's something else I do is when I recognize that there's a new user change, right, a subscriber change, then I need to start and stop the bot, which only takes a second. But what I need to figure out is, and I've tried playing with this couple of times, and I've had a lot of struggle actually with working with this Twitch API. It just doesn't work with the way I think about a lot of this stuff. Let's see. This isn't really what I wanted. I want the reference. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Yeah, so I could do something like this. And what this tells me is who are all of my subscribers. Let's try this. And I think I can do this for anybody's channel, but especially for mine. Let's do it. Let's do it here. We'll just get a new terminal window. Okay. So if I do this, I'm assuming that's not my bearer token. What happens when I do that? Invalid OAuth token. No surprise there. Okay. So you're saying that you want me to just dive right into the webhook stuff? I don't even have a chat open. Let's just type that in. dev.twitch.tv/docs API webhooks reference. User changed, moderator changed, channel ban, subscription events. Okay. I don't have any idea how to do this, but we can try it. Like, what if I do this? I don't think, like, that on its own isn't going to be enough. There's got to be some kind of authentication, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a callback. So I have to... See, this is one of those things that I really love about services like Airtable and Twilio, where I'm looking at the docs, but then they also give me like exactly the sample code that I need to make this happen in the language that I choose. This is going to require a little exploration for me. Is there anything at the top here that says? Okay, so basically what I'm reading here, the way that this works is that I make an initial authorization call to them and I say, hey, when this event happens, this event that I'm telling you I care about, when this event happens, what I want you to do is make a post message to my URL that I'm providing you. And at that endpoint, then, my endpoint, I will capture that data and use it however I need it. Okay, so now I just need to build that. Easy. We're done. This is almost finished. Okay. That seems pretty pretty straightforward. What I don't know is how to build any of this. So I'm gonna post this thing. This is the URL that I need them to deliver to. I'm telling them that I want to subscribe to this thing. The topic URL, okay, is that. Number of seconds until the subscription expires. Let's do this. Alexa, how long is 864,000 seconds in minutes?
864,000 seconds is 14,400 minutes.
Alexa, how long is 14,400 minutes in hours?
14,400 minutes is 240 hours.
10 days. 10 days. Okay, so when I subscribe to something, I can do it for 10 days maximum. Okay. And then a secret used to sign notification payloads. This is just so that I know the notifications are genuine. That seems legit. Well, do we want to build a little baby app and try this? I don't know where I'd be able to catch the payload. Well, we can do this. We can do this. We are smart people. We can figure this out. I have set up, because what I'd really like to do is not have a hosted service sitting and running and waiting all the time. So, yeah, I don't think I can use Airtable directly either, which is fine. As it turns out, I'm paid to use AWS services, so maybe I should look at that. So I think I can use a Lambda. I've done this before for some other things. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a new Lambda function. Do I want it in Ohio? I don't think I want it in Ohio. Okay, we're going to create a function. This is just, what do I want to call this? Twitch. This is a from scratch deal. Twitch. Subscription. This just popped in my head. Do you guys know my family went to the zoo today without me? They're out looking at awesome animals, and I'm here working. So, Twitch subscription catcher. That's what we're going to call it. Node 12 sounds like my jam. Yeah, all of that looks great. Create a function. Okay, I have something called Twitch subscription catcher. That's great. And in the function code, what I would like to do is none of that. Why did you give me this weird code? What I want is I just want to do like console.log json.stringify. This is not hard to do, and I just want event. I don't even know what event is, but we'll do with that. Okay, so we have a very, very basic thing. In fact, this is fine. Okay, because I have a console log, so I'll be able to write logs to that. So that's good. So the next step then is we come into services, and what we want is API gateway, which I never remember where that is. Let's just type API gateway. And I've created a few of these before, but I never remember how to do it. So I'm going to see if I can find this. Alexa, API gateway,
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Lambda, testing. There's a page. There's a page I created on GitHub that gave me these instructions. No. No. Let's see if I can just find it on our GitHub. I wrote myself a set of instructions so that I would remember how I did this. And I think it's still there. Okay, so I want none of this. I want Alexa. Okay, so in here, I think it might be in the cookbook.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh my gosh. Stop.
No, oh my gosh, it's not an Amazon Echo.
What? Okay. Okay, what I don't know... How about if I type it properly? Why am I struggling to find this? Here we go. This is the file I was looking for. Okay. So I did this for myself so that I would remember how to do it. Okay, so go to API Gateway, create API. Great. Oh, that's a new choice that I haven't seen before. This is new. Build. Okay. I need to give it a name and a description. REST, new API. This is going to, I'll call it the same thing. Twitch, subscription, catcher. Endpoint for Twitch webhook. Callbacks. That's fine. Create my new API. Okay, this is where I get lost because it just doesn't make sense in my brain. Okay, our next step is to create a resource inside our API. Click the Actions button at the top of the page. Done. Click the Actions button at the top of the page and choose Create Resource. Okay? What do I name it? The description... Let's call it Twitch subscription catcher resource. No, I don't think I need the cores. Configuration. Okay, so we're going to create our resource. Great. Now, click the Actions button again and click Create Method. Great. And this is going to be a post, I think. and click the round checkbox button. There we go. I love when I'm smarter than myself. Okay. For the setup of your post function, you can leave the integration type as lambda function. For the lambda region, choose the region. Okay, lambda function. This fills it in for me, I think, so it should be Twitch. Where is my function? Oh, because I probably didn't give it access. Okay, so let's go back. To my lambda function. Peek, a program is back. Welcome back, man. Your name reminds me that on my vacation, I played a ton of Pokemon Go with my son. I'm like level 16 or something now, which is pretty good considering I just started. Okay. Add a trigger. I probably need to just add API gateway to this, and then I think that will solve my problem. Deployment stage, I don't know. Security. We'll figure that out later. Add. Oh. Okay, so I can't do that yet. What if I refresh this page? Northern Virginia is US East 1, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go look at a different lambda, I guess, and see what I'm setting up wrong. Good morning, Let My People Code. How are you? Northern Virginia. No. Lambda functions. Okay. Let's see. Let's find one that does work. Oh, look at this. Chatsino webhooks. I wonder if I've tried to do this before. Okay, so what I need to do is find one that is working. Like if I come in here and I choose, is the Star Wars one working? Star Wars bot is working. So let's go see what's different about Star Wars bot. Nothing. Permissions. I don't know why this is going. Functions. Twitch subscription catcher. Permissions. That all looks fine to me. What's inside my policy for this? Just CloudWatch logs. Can we just add some policies to it? Would that do a thing that would make my life easier? So what if I say API gateway let's do that. Will then it show up here? Probably not right away, right? Twitch. Probably have to refresh the page if I had to guess. BRB. Twitch. No, what? What? I've never run into this before. This is new. Can I just provide the ARN with that? Would that get me what I want? that's what I wanted in the first place. Goodness. Okay. Okay, so choose the region where your Lambda, the Lambda function box. Start typing the name of your Lambda function. It should autocomplete for you. Save. Click Save. One last time, we need to open the Actions button, and this time choose Deploy API. Actions, Deploy API. Deployment stage is going to be prod, because why not? Deploy. Copy the invoke URL from the blue box at the top of the screen. So what should happen here is that if I send a post message to this address, we should end up with a hit on our Lambda. That's what we should end up with. So let's go back and look at our Lambda function. Console.log, you made it this far. Okay. So now we need to go back to their webhooks guide. I think we can actually do this way, just to make our life a little easier. Maybe. No, get off my screen. Okay. So we'll just create a new one here. And this is going to be a post message to that. And what happens when I do that? Miss authentication token. I shouldn't need an authentication token to call in there, should I? Yeah, none required. Okay, let's try this. Param1 equals tacos. Okay, I got a 200 on that. So if we go to AWS CloudWatch, we should see something in the log, I think. I have a log, everybody. You made it this far. Ah. So how about that? Okay, so we were able to set... I guess I shouldn't be surprised that worked, but it's exciting. Okay, so We now have an API gateway endpoint that's pointing to a Lambda function that does nothing. Now what we need to figure out is how do we write a Node app that will make that initial call, right? We have this webhooks reference here. We need to make the initial call. Let's see, do we always call the hub? I think we do. So we can build a, yeah, we don't need this. We could build a quick little Node app. Yeah, but I don't want to break, like, I'm all for testing in production. You guys have seen me do it plenty, but I don't want to break the casino from working right now. So I'll just create new window. Yeah, every 10 days it needs to run. But what I could do, like, my expectation is that the casino will be used on a somewhat infrequent basis, but I would bet there's a couple of messages that come in every day, at least, or at least certainly within every 10 days. And so my thought is that I could have a time that I've called it last, and then every time a message comes in, I could just say, hey, how long has it been since the last time we set up that webhook? Oh, look at that, free cron jobs. Well, maybe that's where we live. Okay, so we're gonna do. Let's take a look here first. So we get my GitHub folder, and we're gonna call this new folder. Twitch subscription catcher. Okay, so then we'll open that folder, and Twitch subscription catcher. Okay, so in here we're going to just open that folder, which has nothing in it. And we're going to create a new file called index.js and open to like the bot. We'll look at package.json here. Really don't need most of this, but we'll do it. I really only care about fetch. Fine, I'll leave them all. Stop arguing with me. Okay, so I have my package. Oh, this isn't where I wanted it anyway. Package.json. That looks a lot nicer anyway. Twitch subscription catcher. Okay, and then this does nothing for now. We'll just do a console log. Hi there. And then we need a terminal. That is funny, Mr. Smoofy. It probably is W. Georgia, though. He's everywhere. NPM Run dev. Hi there. Okay, that's working. So now what we need to do is const fetch equals require node fetch. And then, wait, you don't like that? Oh, I know why you don't like that. npm install. While we're doing that, I can open up another file that will have the code that I generally need. If we do a nope. Where do I do this? Maybe it's in here. Alexa chatbot. This might actually be the place to do it. No, that's definitely not where I'm doing it. External.get Twitch followers. I'm looking for this. I just needed all of that syntax because I'm going to have to put this together for what we're doing here. Sorry, good question, Gold Zulu. So my URL, if we go back to the browser, wherever that went, the URL that I'm going to be calling is this. And then my options. Is it really hub.callback? Like that's what they want me to do? It seems weird to me. These are all great, but it seems to me like, shouldn't there be an example JSON body? Why wouldn't you show me an example JSON body? Twitch Helix Hub JSON body. Twitch Helix Hub JSON body example. Yes, I'm sending a post. This is what I wanted to see. So it really is hub.mode, hub.topic. Interesting. it's going to look like that. The body is going to be JSON.stringify. What I should be able to do here is like this, right? Is it not liking that? Oh, because they put... See, this is the thing I don't get. Like, you can't write clean JSON because of the way they chose to name their properties. Dumb. Okay, that's fine. So I have my body. The other thing that I need is... if we come back to here, I need the subscriber change thing. Moderator, channel ban, subscription events. This is going to be my hub topic. My callback is going to be that URL that we just used on API Gateway, which I still am not super confident about, but where do I find that test URL? Feels like it should be in here. If I click on APIs, I just end up... There we go. I knew it was here somewhere. Okay. That's my callback. And the secret, I'm not going to worry about it for now. I should set that up, but I'm not using it for now. Okay, and then we're going to do this. All right. Let's see what happens. npm run dev. Must provide a valid content type header. Okay. Okay. I can get behind that. I think I can just do that as content type equals JSON. I think it's like I don't feel like that's right. Application JSON. That's right. I thought that's how it was written though. Content dash type. Am I wrong? I look at Postman. What do they do here? Content. I just gotta put it in quotes, I guess. More dumbness. Method post. Body looks good. If I just change this. So I'm still getting a bad request. Provide a content type. Do you want it capitalized? I can do that for you. I think I'm doing that, but they don't seem to like it. Please use application/JSON, and I did. Must provide a I'll take the whole thing. Well, let's do it. Let's see what the internet thinks about this. This was in May. Oh, content types and headers. I would have just found that. Like so? How do you feel about that? Unauthorized? Well, how do I... Okay, I'll keep playing your games. In here, this secret is not my OAuth token. This is if I want to be able to validate that the message is coming from a place that I authorize. So secret is not that. But I don't see any reference in here to... my back. I don't see any reference at all to... an OAuth anything. All Helix endpoints... here we go. All Helix endpoints require OAuth and matching client IDs. See this announcement for more information. Okay. Registering your app. I feel like I tried to do this before, and then I was like, oh, I don't have an endpoint, but maybe we do now. Oh, you're right. Maybe I could do that. I do have an authorization. We're gonna go to this for a moment. Yeah, let's try that. So if we go to here, I know you can't see what I'm doing, but we will get back there in just a moment. I do have an OAuth token right here. Now, where does it want it, though? They make this so hard. This doesn't need to be this hard. So I think the thing that I need to figure out right now is just where does the token go in my body? So if we come back here, where does it go? I have the value, but I don't know where to put it. No, hub.secret is different. That's I'm pretty confident that's not it. The hub.secret is to sign notification payloads. We strongly encourage you to use this so your application can verify notifications are genuine. So this is like I give it a secret code, and then I can validate when a request comes in that it's actually valid, not somebody just trying to hit my server. So it's definitely not that. But I wonder if I could just put it on here. I've seen an example. Where did it go? Where they just do like this, just client ID. I wonder if I could just do it as client ID on the end of my URL. Like this. And we'll just... Right, that makes total sense when I'm using curl, but no, I think I can just pass it like this. We're just going to pretend you guys don't see this, okay? And OAuth token is missing. That didn't work. doesn't it, I mean, let's take apart the side that like I don't entirely know what I'm doing, and that I'm just kind of making this up as I go, but doesn't this seem way too hard? I don't understand why it has to be so complicated. It should be as easy as me passing a URL with some kind of authentication token, right? Client secret, whatever you want to call it, and then just do the thing for me. So strange. I honestly feel like if I do nothing else in my lifetime, I'm going to make software development easier for people. No, there's still protection. You still are submitting a client ID, a client secret, whatever. But like a perfect example is, right, I'm building a web request here with my options, my headers, my body, or whatever. And you, Goldzilla, you came at me and said like, oh, well, you just need a bearer in the authorization node. Right, that would be great but that stuff just doesn't work. Like I've got to like have these 3 layers of authentication and no clear documentation as to like you can't tell me that there isn't a simple code sample like the one I'm writing here that would be incredibly easy for someone to just copy, change a couple of values, and they're done. Why does this have to why do I have to reinvent everything every time? This is so frustrating to me. Because it doesn't need to be this hard. Okay. Right, and I'm fine with. Oh, I guess okay. So you're saying that I have to have a 2-pass authentication. Okay. I can do that if I have to. It's still not clear to me how I submit the OAuth token once I get it, though. Like, never mind the complexities of making 2 calls. Once with the client secret and a client ID. The second time they send me an OAuth token. And then I use that OAuth token to make my actual call. Okay, Goldzul, I get it, but where does bearer go in this structure of options? Is it its own node, like headers and method? So if I had bearer in here like this, I mean, I don't know that this is going to work, but you're saying it would look like this? Like that. Client ID and OAuth token do not match. Okay, well, we got a new error. So, but like, my point isn't that this is hard. My point is that I'm having to figure this all out myself. This code sample should just be there. Here, fill in these things, swap out these values, and you're off and running. Okay, so now we're going to back up. And we're going to say, okay, now I need to get that OAuth token. So to get a token, I'm going to have to do a whole new one. Am I missing it? Getting tokens. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm getting it easier, but it's still. What is client ID? I have to pass my client ID also? And where do I get my client ID? I mean, I know I have it here somewhere, but. I'm getting risky here. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. I don't see anywhere here in the developer console where I can see because it's based on an app. Okay. So I have a client ID. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I have an app registered. This is just so frustrating. I I'm certain that part of my frustration is that I don't know what I'm doing. But I definitely feel like this doesn't need to be this hard. Okay. So this is what I'm staring down now. I have an application on Twitch that I created called Chatsino. And these are my options. It's primarily a chatbot, that's why I registered it that way. And I have a client ID, and I've got that. I threw that in my code already. I have that here. But how do I get this? Because the error I'm still getting is client ID and OAuth token do not match. So it seems like I need to, wherever that was. Was it out here? No. No. I really wish I had Twitch open to click on that. Let's do it. dev.twitch.tv /docs/authentication/getting tokens auth. I should open up Twitch so that I have the ability to get links when you pass them to me. Okay. I don't want to authenticate a user. I just want the app. Okay. Ooh, this looks like something I recognize. Okay. So we take this. What is client credentials? Oh, grant type. It must. Okay, I see. The value must be client credentials, and then the scope. I saw the scope. I saw the scope that I need to set earlier. So it seems like we need 2 calls here. So we're going to do const OAuth equals that. And we're going to do the fancy ones. Okay. So for my client ID, we're going to take this. And we're going to go over and get that client ID wherever it was. Client ID is here. Copy. Too many things open. Okay. So this becomes... Let's just create some things. So this becomes client ID. Okay. And then client secret. Really love putting these things on screen, but that's going to be unavoidable. This is just all test right now anyway, so. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now we need, I'll get rid of these later. Client secret. I know I'm being irresponsible, but I'll go back and change these later. Then the next step is grant type. That stays the same. So this becomes client secret. And then the scope, I saw that earlier. That was in the docs for making these webhook calls. And the scope that I need for subscription events is channel read subscriptions like this. Oh my gosh, we're making so much progress. This isn't going to work at all, but we're making so much progress. Okay, then am I going to nest these? How am I going to do this? Okay. Wait, what? Progress, but it's not going to work. Tell me why it's not going to work. Oh, it's not going to work because I'm angry and frustrated. That's why. So now what I need to figure out how to do is return a value from fetch. Because normally I just do all of my activity right in here. But I mean, if I do something like this, I think I can come in here. I should be able to do something like this. So I should be able to say const token equals fetch, where my OAuth URL goes here. And I don't really have any options. I think that's an okay call. Okay. Stop it. right, let's see what that looks like. Token came back as nothing, but it's probably... invalid JSON response body. Well, what happens... Here, let's do this. What if I do that? That should give me my crazy URL. And I could drop that in a browser, ideally, and it should still work. 404 page not found. That's fun. What could I be doing wrong here? Well, no. I feel like there's something malformed maybe with my URL, although it seems pretty straightforward. I'm not getting a value here, and it feels like I've got an async issue based on the error that I'm seeing here. Invalid JSON response body, right? So it's the response that's getting the issue. Unexpected token P, and the problem is that I'm getting a 404 back, because if we look at this, that's position 4 and it's a P. But 404 is also not found, right? So this solves that JSON problem, because now I'm doing .text instead of .json, but I'm not getting a value back. I don't know. I'm angry and frustrated and hungry, and I just don't understand why everything has to be so hard. That's all. There should be, like, on that page where we're going through all this stuff, they should say, here's a way to do that. Copy this code, change out your values, go. expecting people to figure it all out for themselves is nonsense. Oh, you think it's because I'm doing a get? Maybe I need my options? Still no token. Still, I mean, I'm not using it, so, like, oh, you want, it should be get? I guess the get makes sense, huh? Still no, though. Let's put this all on one line. I don't think that's the issue, but no. Still getting nothing for my token. Let's take this into Postman. Four not found. I just don't understand why that would be a 404. Like, tell me unauthorized or something, but I mean, I copied it right from here. It is a post, so let's fix that. $200 okay. What? Okay, so Postman likes it. Why doesn't this? No, I think something's wrong here. What if I don't think I need to do that, but yeah. The whole point of fetch is to not have to do that. But I think that's the issue, is that I'm trying to do this. Still no. I'm not worried about this part. I'm not trying this part yet. The only thing I'm looking at is, where's my token? Because I call fetch right here, and then I try to console log it out, and it's empty. But I think it's this. I think that I'm having an async issue. Because what if I do... like like this. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think it's an async issue. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's tagging it that way anyway. So you can see right here, I'm getting it inside there. Here's what I think I'm gonna do, and I hate this so much. Let's take this. Let's just do this little test first. If I do that, does it still do it? It does. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this stuff. Come on. And we're going to put it inside here. And then for my bearer token, this is going to be like so. Oh, because I don't want all of that. I just want... Oh! Invalid OAuth token. Cool, this is so fun. Everyone should write software. Okay. We're so close. If we look at this right here, the token should be, we'll just write that out right there. Okay. Access underscore token. That looks right to me. Seriously, he did it a few days ago, and now I'm here banging my head against the wall? Well, I'm at time, guys. This sucked today. Today sucked. I don't know what else I can do. What if I do r.access token? Token undefined. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So this would be, let's call this the whole thing, R. I think we're closer than we think. So R, I have access token, but then when I do this, it's undefined. So what if we try something like this? Oh, you do not like that, huh? Okay. Yeah, I found the typo. But it just seems like I'm having trouble referencing that, right? This is the whole R. And so in here I have an object. Oh, because I'm putting it as a string. What does this look like if I just do R? Is it an object or is it a string? Guys, it's a string. Okay, what's the opposite of JSON.stringify? I never remember that one. Opposite of JSON.stringify. JSON.parse, of course. Okay, so let's do this. I need JSON.parse on R. We need to do this as a value. Const R equals that. No, I can't do R. We'll do R2. Why not? We like Star Wars here. So now we should be able to say R2.access token. Still don't have a token. Console log R2 R2. Still a string. Oh, it's the stringify that I don't need? I guess you're right. I just wanted the object. No, I'm trying to move too fast. R2 object. Okay, we're getting so much closer. So much closer. So JSON.stringify here. I was about to give up, but I think we're going to try and power through. This is just so I can see it. R2 is an object that has a property called access token. So R2.access token should be a thing. So if I just put a 2 here, hub.topic is an unsupported topic. That's something I can work with. Okay. I think you're wrong. Copy. Okay, so it was just some nesting and async and 70 other things that I needed to know. So my hub topic is right. Yeah, no, I know it's in the log. Like I'm already beyond that. Like we got the token, everything's good. Thank you, W Giorgio. What I'm trying to figure out now is the new error that I'm getting is hub topic is an unsupported topic. What? Twitch. Oh, do I have to put properties on it? Are there properties that I need to add to it? Yeah. Well, of course I do. Broadcaster ID is me. Okay. 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 We just do them as parameters. Query parameters. Okay. So broadcaster ID equals Jeff Blankenburg, and first equals 1. First equals 1. How about that? I don't know, that's what it said to do. It said required parameters. I have to have a parameter called first, and it must be 1, and it has to be the second parameter in the query string. I don't know. I'm just following their instructions. But I'm looking at subscription events. Does this need to be an ID and not the... Yeah, it's an I. Looks like it might be an ID, is there? No, there's no like user ID. Is ID a number? And how do I get that number? Like I see here, right here, this is they have an ID that is a number. And I have to have the broadcaster ID. I can't have the broadcaster name. Is there somewhere that I would know what my ID is? Look at that. Another API call. Well, I gotta stop here then. This is dumb. I'm making 3 separate API calls just to tell it that I want it to send me notifications. This isn't a thing that I could just do in a web portal. Okay. Well, I've got to stop for now. I have so much other stuff I've got to get done today. But we will revisit this. If I have to make another call, I have to make another call. It's just dumb. The thing is that my user ID is going to be the same always. Isn't there a way for me to know my own personal... How do I find my Twitch broadcaster ID? Translating from usernames to user IDs. I don't want to do this. I just want to know what my ID is. No, because I don't think that's the case, Scott. And the only reason that I say that is because when you call in, what you're doing is saying, hey, this is the user, but I'm not indicating the name of the application. I'm just indicating the name of the user. Yeah, Mr. Smoofy, you're right. That most certainly is it. And of course, I lost chat, so I won't be able to grab that message from you. But let's see if it brings the chat messages in. I don't. You lose it. Can you post that again, Mr. Smoofy? Thank you. Yes, I agree with this. Let's try one more thing. Let's just go over to Postman. Try and just do this the hacky way. So we're going to send... Get out of my way. Go away, Outlook. And then in here, we're going to have a header that is... I think they said that that's... No, I don't want to guess. I'll just get frustrated when it doesn't work. Client ID, and the client ID is going to be this thing. I think maybe we can pull this off. The fact that any of this is working is nonsense, but so angry. God, I just want to shut this down. I need to just turn it off because I got to go do other stuff, but I feel like I'm just on the edge. If you call Helix users with a valid OAuth token, yeah, Gold Zulu, you have been an incredible help today. All of you have. But I gotta go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it quits for today. But we will be back on this on Friday, and I may beat my head against it while I'm not on stream. But thank you guys all for the help today. This has been an adventure, to say the least. Anyway, this has been great. I will see you guys all soon. Sorry we didn't make more awesome progress, but we made some progress, I guess. And we will see you all again soon. Thanks, guys.